It's that time of the year again, May 4th, a huge day for people like me. Happy Star Wars Day. Now, I'm legally obligated to talk about something Star Wars, so what? Well, I could talk about The Force Unleashed 2, or maybe even the Wii version of The Force Unleashed. I grew up with this version, and I find it so much better than, that one. Or, hey, maybe the Battlefront games. These are such fun shooters set in the Star Wars universe. And there's always Jedi Fallen Order. The sequel just came out, so why not talk about this version? But, I think I know what I want to do. I want to talk about one of the LEGO Star Wars games. But which one? There's so many of them. Honestly, why would I talk about any other? Oh, let's just... Well, it turns out people care too much about Star Wars because everyone was trying to watch Star Wars, and thusly, some generators have blown and now the power's out. Great. But I still want to talk about LEGO Star Wars, but my DS is dead, so it gives me no choice but to talk about these. Or I could just not talk about them. It wouldn't really matter either way.
This is a video game, and this is a video game when you have responsibilities. Portable gaming, just as big as gaming as a whole to me. While handheld gaming has died down considerably, there was still a moment in time where so many games would get a handheld port or spin-off, especially, oh god, kids games. New kids movie that has a tie-in game? Of course there's a DS version. And that to LEGO Star Wars as well. There was Complete Saga on the DS, but also on the... oh god. Oh please no.
God have mercy on my soul.
The Game Boy Advance. At first glance, this guy had a short lifespan. It was released in 2001, and its successor, the DS, released in 2004. However, despite the seemingly short lifespan, the Game Boy Advance received games for years after. And two of the ports that fascinated me the most were the LEGO Star Wars ports on Game Boy Advance.
The first two LEGO Star Wars games came out in 2005 and 2006 respectively, and the DS came out in 2004, so I just assumed after 2004, all that was released on the Game Boy Advance were licensed kids games. I guess it checks out.
Well, let's play through these, starting with LEGO Star Wars the video game. Much like the LEGO Batman games, there is little development history on this version of the game. It was developed by Kryptonite Games and launched alongside the console versions on March 29th, 2005, and it sold over 500,000 units. What? Now, that's nothing to brag about these days, but for a handheld port of a licensed kids game for a dead portable in 2005, that's pretty wacky. But how is the game itself?
Welcome back to Gaming on the Go, where I take a look at the portable version of a game or game series and tell you if you should take it on the go, or just wait until you get... can't hold it anymore. This game fucking reeks!
This game is ass, but every ass has a start. We start with a title screen, and not just that, a promising one. You have a Game Boy Advance take of the main theme and this hard-looking menu. Select our save file, and instead of being put in Dexter's Diner, we instead simply pick what episode we want to play. Ugh. You can start with any, but no hub is lame. These posters are kinda cool. They're LEGO recreations of the DVD covers, which is neat, but oddly enough, the episode 3 cover shows Attack of the Clones Anakin and Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan fighting. Weird. Well, selecting a level instantly thrusts you into the cinematics, and wow. I will say it's kinda cool that they made unique stills for this version. Like, yeah, it looks a bit like screenshots from the console cutscenes, but on closer inspection...
this is a lie!
Then after the still images of cinematics, we get another cutscene, this time made with in-game assets. TC-14 walks Obi-Wan into the negotiations room, and leaves. The ship rumbles and we get siege bubbles to know what Obi-Wan is thinking, but strangely enough, the Obi-Wan face looks like the Attack of the Clones version. Anyways, leave the room and time for combat ends. Ugh, this is especially rough. It's slow and clunky and not good at all. The lightsabers feel so awful in this game, and on top of that, there's slowdown. Besides that, this level is just running through the blockade runner, solving light puzzles, and by light puzzles, I mean...
Can you light up all the lights on the floor? Use the Force, bitch! Kill him.
This game is played from an isometric point of view and looks solid for a Game Boy Advance game. Praise is over. Mainly, this game is boring. You also have 7 hearts, and get a load of this, if you lose them all, you restart at the last checkpoint. It may not sound too bad, but trust me, it is, just trust me. Especially with these turrets, they take a ton of hits to destroy and can destroy you in just a few hits. Besides that, just run through the level, kill enemies, and get on the ship. Overall, this is just boring. At the end of the level though, you get bonus studs based on how many droids you destroyed, how many blasts you deflected, how many studs you collected, and how many Death Star holograms you found. These are the replacement for mini kits. There are 5 in each level, and it is not fun to collect. Woo. And the studs, oh boy, I hate studs in this game, but I'll go more in depth on it later. Well, let's go through the whole game now. Level 2 is in the Gungan Woods where you play as Qui-Gon. You also meet Jar Jar in this level who can jump really high, just like the console version. He also has a ranged attack, good for him. And there's some platforming, but not just any, isometric platforming.
Oh, so that's why I'm not happy.
Besides that, just run through the environment, boo. Level 3, the Feed Streets, it's okay, it has some more platforming, You also say Padme, who's in her Geonosis attire, sure. Might as well. There's also a part in the end where you save the pilots of the Naboo starfighters. Guys, I think you have this part a little too early. Next is a Tatooine level, but you don't get to pod race, that'd be too fun. Instead, you get to run around a boring environment, killing Tusken Raiders. Well, we also see Darth Maul in some cutscenes, so we'll probably get a small fight with him.
No.
Okay, last level the Phantom Menace, fight Joseph Jar Jar in an environment from level 2, then fight some more and get a minute to run around and pick up studs. And finish it off with Duel of the Fates. Definitely the best part so far. The environment is neat, you get an awesome remix of Duel of the Fates, and the boss fight is pretty fun. Boss fights just consist of whacking each other until one dies, with occasional saber locks. It's pretty simple, but pretty fun. Attack of the Clones, well, we skipped the entire first act and jumped knee deep into the Tatooine part. I mean, who cares about Kamino? It's only the perfect setting for a level. Let's just reuse the environment from level 4 of episode 1. Oh, brilliance! But there's a small part in the Lars homestead. That makes it better. And even the Tusken Raider camp. See, now the decision to reuse the level is justified. Then the Droid Factory, just boring and reused environments. Oh, hell yeah! No Pachinaki Arena, but hey, we get to play as Obi-Wan. Is that Obi-Wan? Yeah, it's him, but they reused his Phantom Menace model. What? This is just lazy and dumb and low effort and lazy and dumb and low effort. Why? And the next level, it's the same environment. What? We don't leave the factory at all. Even the Dooku boss fight is labeled under Geonosis Factory. We'll fight Dooku and that's it for Attack of the Clones. 3 levels, that's just tragic. Well, let's just hope Revenge of the Sith picks up the slack. What? Well, we start on the Invisible Hand playing as Attack of the Clones Anakin. Why? Yeah, lazy, dumb, stupid, and dumb, and lazy. This level is okay, it's just running around the corridor, ending with the Dooku boss fight, then jump to Kashyyyk where you run around as Yoda. I got waddle around, I guess. Yoda is annoyingly slow, and this level has atrocious slowdown. Anyways, save clones sucks. Utapau run around as Phantom Menace Obi-Wan, my god. Good old Grievous boss fight, pretty solid, good part of level. Well, Kashyyyk again, reused the level, fun.
That's a lie.
Utapau, reused mostly, but with a little original cage section, please kill me. Mustafar, this one's pretty cool. I love the color, and it's a fun little chase level with some combat sections. And it has the sick Duel of the Fates remix. Overall, solid last level. Besides that, there really isn't much. As I said, you can get all the Death Star holograms, and depending on how many of the other things like deflecting blasts and destroying enemies in general, you get studs from how much you do of each thing, and get a rank based on how many studs you got. And speaking of studs, well, what can you do with them? Nothing. You can buy characters, but the prices seem so low. The most expensive character is Darth Vader for 15,000 studs. That sounds incredibly cheap, but you don't get many studs at all. If you wanted to get all characters, you'd have to replay the levels a lot. God, please no.
And that's LEGO Star Wars on Game Boy Advance. Oh my god.
This game is ass. I never want to play it again. This is like LEGO Marvel on DS bad. This game is lazy, boring, slow, stupid, and I don't like it. The laziness especially. They made one older variant of all the characters and used them for the whole game. You play as Phantom Menace Obi-Wan throughout all 3 films. It's just so damn lazy. So yeah, this game is ass.
That'll do it. I probably still need that for the second game.
LEGO Star Wars 2! Better than the original?
Really?
Well, LEGO Star Wars 2 for Game Boy Advance. This existence makes even less sense. This game also came out on the DS. That was already bad enough. This one should be worse. I also have this game in the original box. This is so damn cool. One day I was at Vintage Stock, as I do, and I saw that they had a pre-owned copy of this game in the box for like $7. So I got it, and yeah, it's a personality trait. It even came with the manual, and my god, this is such a nice manual. It's so colorful and fun to flip through, so much better than the smear of capitalism within the Skywalker Saga box. Anyways, on to the game itself. Well, to start, look at that, a better title screen. It looks more like the console version, and starting up the game, what? We actually got a hub, the cantina. Hopping into the actual levels, we start with similar cutscenes to the last one. It's still confusing, but hopping into the gameplay, oh yeah. 4 hearts, respawn after death, activation panels, smoother gameplay. This is good. This feels like a Game Boy Advance version of LEGO Star Wars.
That makes sense.
As a portable remake of LEGO Star Wars 2, this is pretty solid. There's also 10 mini-kits per level, just like the console version. This is so good. Well, let's run through the levels. I like this game, but it's not perfect. Blockade Runner, solid first level. Tatooine, go through the Jundland Waste and then Mos Eisley. Pretty fun. Death Star Rescue and Death Star Escape, the same damn level but reversed.
Now, that's the LEGO Star Wars on Game Boy Advance way.
It's a solid level, but there's also these certain officers who are a pain. And lastly, Trench Run. Solid vehicle level, I enjoyed it. Hoth Attack, another vehicle level, but this time taking down ATSTs. It's okay, but doesn't hold a candle to the console version. Echo Base, another level. Just working the way through Echo Base, Asteroid Field, this one is so damn short. It takes like 30 seconds to beat. And the Cloud City levels, one of them is escaping, the other is going to the Carbonite Chamber, another reused level. Kinda lazy and lame. Return of the Jedi, Jabba's Palace, another really short one. Walk down a hallway and then fight the Rancor. Sarlacc Pit, definitely longer, but has a really annoying Boba Fett fight. Speeder Chase, a pretty mediocre vehicle level on Endor. Endor itself, this level runs like piss. The frame rate is so slow. This is just ass. Jedi Destiny, another short level. Fight Vader, fight Palpatine. You can just stand there and spam B and you'll beat the level. And the last level, the space fight in the Death Star 2. It's just okay.
Well, that was definitely much better. Nothing incredible, but still quite solid.
Along with the levels, there are the mini-kits I already mentioned. Also a solid character roster. The character models were not reused this time. We have unique Bespin Luke and Black Robe Luke variants, along with Slave Leia.
Yep, this game's been validated.
Along with that, there are also a ton of extras. This truly does feel like a remake of LEGO Star Wars 2, which is what you'd expect from this, but yeah, 16 levels with at least 5 levels for each movie, a sizable character roster, 160 mini-kits, a ton of extras, and a hub, along with better, more enjoyable gameplay. This is just straight up a good game.
And those are the LEGO Star Wars games on Game Boy Advance. The first one is ass. Oddly similar to LEGO Marvel Superheroes on DS with its isometric, one-death, shitty gameplay. Like, who hurt the developers? But hey, at least LEGO Star Wars 2 is good. It feels like LEGO Star Wars on Game Boy Advance. Okay, that shouldn't be that shocking, but still, this one's pretty fun. Well, I pretty much said everything I have to say. I just didn't really have too much to say about them. I've been rambling for over 10 minutes and the power still isn't on, so maybe I should call the power company.
Well, hi, what can I do for you?
Hey, the power's been out for a while now. I was just wondering what's caused the outage and if it'll be back on soon.
I don't see any outages near you. Maybe check your power box?
Okay, now I get who are the LEGO Star Wars on Game Boy Advance developers.